This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Hello, welcome to This is a Place. My name is Brandon, and today I'm joined by a man who once bought 200 toothbrushes and used every single one of them. Was that all at the same time?
All at the same time, no. But
I mean, like
end up
sequentially.
one for each tooth.
One for each tooth. There you go.
How many times would that be? Hey, Brandon, did you know where the toothbrush was invented?
I do not know.
In the South, because if it were somewhere up north, they would call the teeth brush.
Very funny.
So, what are we talking about today, Brandon?
So we today did the visit to the NPS store, or as many people may also know it, Market Square.
Market Square. When I first started going, I knew it as Market Square, and it seems like last 5 years or so, it's kind of turned into the NPS store. But for me, it will always be Market Square.
So where did that name change come into play? Do you know?
So I don't know if it's always been there, and the Market Square has just always been this nickname for it. But something interesting that I learned today, really from you, Brandon, and I've been going to the NPS store since I think 2001 is when I discovered it. But what does NPS stand for? National Product Sales, or like we like to call it, nice place to save.
And that's exactly what it is. It's a nice place to save.
So I went to the website to find out what they had, information they had about the store and what history I could find. And what they had on there says, what is NPS? And it says, is a large warehouse and online store with items from everyday necessities to unique products. NPS store has everything from clothes and home decor to electronics, hardware, groceries, and much, much more.
And does it ever?
Oh, yes. I mean, were you surprised today when we went through how much it really did have?
I wasn't surprised because the last time I went there quite a few years ago, but I'd been there multiple times. There's a lot of deal finders in my family. I've been there with two different aunts in the past because they like to find the deals. So I guess it did feel a little more organized than times I've been in the past. But yeah, I kind of knew going into it what I was going to see there.
Right. It's definitely a lot more organized. And they've even, in the last month or two, have reorganized the store again. So it's been interesting over the years of going to the NPS store, just how much it has changed over the last 19 years that I've been visiting the store. And just the sections of where they have products, how they change it periodically to where you find them located in the store.
Keeps you guessing every time.
Not every time, but every couple years they change it up. So if you don't go very often, then yeah, it would definitely keep you guessing. But it sounds like, looking from their website, that it started in 1968. So they've been around for a while. I was kind of surprised to find out that information. It says that their business started with a simple concept of assisting other businesses with overstock, refused, unclaimed, and damaged merchandise. At NPS, our goal is to help businesses efficiently deal with excess inventory in an environmentally friendly way while saving the customer money on these products and goods. I guess a way to explain what the NPS store is excess stuff.
Like an overstock type.
Overstock. Yeah, it's basically an overstock store. And another cool thing about the NPS stores, they do have all their items, but even says on their website that each week we add to those low prices. We add to those low prices by adding extra incentives from certain departments or products in our store. So every week they'll have a different item or section that is even an additional percentage off, which probably is a good idea that keeps people coming back to the store, because you never know from week to week what kind of deals you're going to find.
Right.
So,
Well, one thing that I kind of find cool about NPS is they have a loyal following of people that have been going there for years, right? And everyone's shirt has the phrase on the back, "I'd rather be treasure hunting in NPS." So a lot of people like to go here because of the treasures, or the really good deals they can find, or the random stuff that's just unique and cool, right?
yeah, and that's what I love. Well, not love. The fun thing about NPS store for me, and I tell people all the time they kind of look at me funny when I mention the store to them, that they'd never heard of it before, is that one time you go there, you could go there 1 week and fill up your whole cart full of stuff. The next week you go, there's only one or two items that were of interest to you. So you just never know. And it's been great ever since Facebook's kind of come along, and they have their Facebook page, because they'll post the sales items they're going to have, so you can kind of know prior to going into the store if it's worth going in. Check out their Facebook page.
What do you think is the coolest thing you found there?
Oh, the coolest thing I've found there? That's a good question. I know recently, I don't know if I think I've mentioned on the podcast before, but I play hockey, and they had a hockey stick that probably retails for $150, maybe even $200 in the store. If you were to buy it at a sporting goods store or online, and I got it for, I think, $15. So
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, stuff like that. Because it happened to be, I think the store was selling it for their ticket, or their sticker was like $90 or something like that. And then they had an extra like 70% off that day on sporting goods stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you go in one day and that item's going to be expensive, but then if they do a sale, it could be super cheap.
Well, for me, I haven't been there as much as you have, but I remember when I went I was a kid, but I had a little bit of money to spend, and I was there with my aunt and my cousins. And I remember they'd introduced these new Butterfingers, these Butterfinger crisp bars, which I loved. And so I bought a ton of those. And then fast forward to today, and everybody knows that the holiday shaped Reese's are better than the originals, right? Like, that's just common knowledge. And they were selling, I mean, we're in May, right? So well removed from the Easter holiday, but they had all the Easter egg Reese's peanut butter cups. So I bought a ton of those, and this is the place to go for things like that. So I haven't found any really big cool things that I bought, like a hockey stick, right? But for
Right.
me, loving the treats, I know where to go for the future.
Right. Yeah. And that's one thing I love about the store as well, is kind of, you're talking about a holiday that has passed, and those items that didn't sell at the grocery store, they're going to take them out of the store, because selling Easter stuff after Easter is just kind of strange. For me, I could care less that my candy has a Christmas logo on it. It's still going to taste like the candy you're buying, right? So,
Right.
and if I'm going to get it for a fraction of the price, then I'd rather have more than less. So,
And the chances of us having this stuff laying around well after the holiday, we're still going to eat it, right? So us buying it from NPS months later, it's going to be no different than if we just have the candy sitting in our closet for a whole year even anyways, right?
yeah, exactly.
So for this episode, we decided to take some companions with us on our trip. We decided to bring the wives along. So this was recorded a little bit earlier, but let's bring in our wives and hear their take on NPS.
All right. Today we have two very special guests on our episode. Do you want to introduce your guest, Brandon?
Yeah, so today I'm here with my wife, Maddy.
And I am also here with my wife, Becky.
Hi.
Ladies, say hi.
Maddy, say hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Well, we did go on a little adventure today. We took them to the great store of the Market Square. aka NPS store. I'm assuming we probably talked about this earlier, right, Brandon?
Yes.
But I'm a big fan of the NPS store. I go often, at least 2 times a month. My wife probably goes. What would you say, Becky? How often do you go to the NPS store?
Like once a month.
Maybe once a month or every other month. Brandon, last time you were at the NPS store?
It was 2014.
And then Maddie, that was your first experience going to the NPS store, correct?
Sure was.
And did you even know what the NPS store was prior to going?
No, I had no idea. I had
Oh,
no
really?
idea what I was walking into.
But did anybody you ever heard anybody talk about it before, or
No,
Brandon mention it to
never.
you? Never heard of it.
The first time she
I've
heard about
never
it.
heard about it.
So
was
I never
yesterday.
heard of the Peace Gardens, and you've never heard of NPS.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm just introducing people to all sorts of things lately.
isn't that the whole point of this podcast?
Exactly.
This is why we're doing it. We're giving the people what they need to know. Well, going back to Maddie. So she's never heard of it before. What did you think it was going to be? What was your expectations going in?
Well, Brandon told, because I asked Brandon what it was, and he said, it's a cross between DI and like a thrift store. So like, in my mind, I was thinking of kind of like a ghetto Big Lots.
Okay.
But it exceeded my expectations.
Oh,
There's
okay.
something good right there.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't give the
so-
best explanation of it beforehand.
Yeah, I was a little worried before we had gone, but
What did you say, Brandon? Or even if you guys had to explain this to somebody or our listeners right now, how do you explain what NPS is or what it's like?
Stuff that fell off a truck.
yeah.
Chuck?
Or stuff that fell off a truck, got left there for a minute, and then picked up and then put on the shelf.
But I think Brandon probably that's kind of the way I explain it to people is that it's a DI or a thrift store for new stuff.
Yeah.
When you go to a thrift store, you don't really know what you're going to get or what they're going to have. But unlike a thrift store, this isn't used items, it's new items. So
It's kind of like a Ross too, right? You go to Ross,
right?
and you have no idea what the clothes are going to be. It's different every single week.
Yeah. Every time you go, there's something different that you may find. But if you're looking for a particular thing, they may or may not have it, right? Or a particular brand. Like for Ross, for example, if you go to Ross looking for a certain style of shoes, they may or may not have it, but they always have shoes.
Right, exactly. Well, what did you think of it, Maddie? I mean, you said it exceeded your expectations, but what was your overall opinion?
I thought it was decent. Like I liked that all the stuff was new, so I didn't feel like I was getting like gross stuff. But I thought it was good. I thought lots of people could benefit from it.
It's kind of out of the way for us. I mean,
Yeah, and like when I go shopping, like, because I just want to get in and get out, like I look for very specific things. And like, I don't think like I could go like grocery shopping or at NPS. But I mean, if it was closer to us where we lived, I think I would be more likely to go. But because it's a little bit further away, I don't think that I would necessarily take the time out to go and like search through everything. I don't know.
it's not like a get in and get out place.
Yeah,
No, and I think she brings up a good point, and Becky and I were actually talking about it earlier. It's if you have like a set grocery list items that you're going for, it's probably not the place to go because they may only have half the items that you're looking for.
Mhm.
But if you're just looking to go kind of make a stockpile or build up your food storage or things like that, then, and it's a great place to go. Like if you're having like a big party, it's a great place to go to get a bunch of stuff for a party because there's a lot of random stuff. But if you have like a theme party, it might be different because they may not have the stuff you're looking for.
Well, I
Unless
was
you're having a
saying-
Stranger Things party.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, when you go to the store, know you're having a party and figure out what the theme is while you're there.
There you go.
Exactly. You need to use NPS to decide what kind of theme you're going to have.
Well, Becky, what did you think of, or what are your thoughts on NPS since you've been there?
I like NPS. I enjoy the benefits of NPS. But Nate is more patient than I am. And that's why he ends up going more than I do. He is willing to go through all of the stuff and find the deals. Whereas I'm more like Maddie, and I just want to get what I want and be done.
This is true. Which is kind of interesting, Brandon, that because usually isn't the wife the deal hunter?
You know what?
Both of us have wives that are
both...
not the deal hunters, and we are the deal hunters.
No, Maddie, she does appreciate deals.
I do like the clearance rack and all the stores that I go to.
We'll be clear that I wouldn't call myself a deal hunter. I'm just extremely cheap.
Yeah, so
Okay. Honesty is the best policy.
I call Nate frugal. Nate is frugal.
That's
Frugal.
a better word for it. Frugal.
But I'm also, I guess, a hobby of mine is deal hunting. And I think that's why my career has worked so well for me, because I enjoy the thrill of the deal and treasure hunting. Because I'll go, if I'm bored in between appointments, I'll go to a thrift store or Market Square, NPS, to go see what the best deal I can find. And I'm not going there because I have a need for something. It's just I want to go see what deals I can find. So,
yes, he's actually famous for that. Within his family, if anyone talks about deals, someone in his family will bring up the time that he bought 200 toothbrushes.
What?
we're at though.
At NPS Market Square.
And they were travel toothbrushes.
Even better.
One thing that we haven't really brought up is that NPS has come a long ways, or they've evolved over the last 20 years that I've been going there, to where it used to be a super deal store, like crazy deals, because it was a little bit more disorganized than it really is now. But the more organization they've done and the bigger they've gotten, then the less big deals you find. For example, I think those 200 toothbrushes probably cost me $4 for 200 travel toothbrushes. And the funny thing is, how many do we have left, Becky?
Zero.
Zero, because we used them. Over the last 15 years, we've used them all.
It's been more than 15 years.
Since I bought the toothbrushes?
Yes.
Oh, probably. For those are the type of deals you used to be able to find back in the day. The deals aren't as crazy today, in my opinion.
Not to say that they're not good deals, because they are, just not as significant.
Not as crazy, right?
Right.
Yeah. And another tangent, I was at a garage sale like 2 years ago, and a guy had a huge box full of air fresheners for your car. Don't need them, but it was a crazy good deal, so I had to buy them.
Do you still have some? Because I need to get an air
freshener
for my car.
Oh, yeah. I
Yes.
still have a whole bunch.
Why, yes, we do.
We have a whole bunch.
Okay.
Yeah, you do need them.
Okay.
His car smells like permafarts.
All right. That's definitely getting cut out of the episode. So nice try, Maddie.
Well, now it's going to smell like permafarts with pine.
Are they all pine flavored?
No, there's a bunch of different. There's some that were like kind of the liquidy, like the Febreze type stuff. But I've had them for so long and they've been in the garage that they've kind of evaporated. But I still have the ones that you kind of push into the air vents. A lot of those.
Well, I'll come check them out.
Yeah, and I can give you a few, and they don't last as long. They're so old, but like I said, I had no need for them, but I also thought it'd be funny. I bought them to send to my little sister because she always makes fun of me for the toothbrushes I bought. To say, you think that was cool? Check this out. You know, it was more of a. I think the guy gave me the whole box for like $10, and I couldn't pass it up.
And it's a big box.
Yeah, it's a decent size. We've had it for like what, 2 years at least.
At least.
So you've got at least 13 more years to go.
Mm-hmm.
At least
And then we'll use all of the crappy air fresheners.
Yeah. I've used them in houses before that I'm trying to sell. I put them in the vents.
Oh man.
Smell good.
Cookie trick? Oh,
Yep.
I mean, you got all those air fresheners. You don't need cookies.
What you do is you get the furnace filter and change that to like a vanilla scent instead of actually baking the cookies.
That's a good idea. Done that before too. So, where were we? So here's my question, Maddie. What would make you go there again?
A persistent husband who dragged you there?
Yeah, really though. I think I would go again if I had like more time on my hands. So like I said, I don't think it's like a bad story. I think it's great for like the deals. And like I was impressed by just like how much stuff they had, like the food stuff and then like toys and electronics and things like that. So I mean, I would go if I had more time, I think. So maybe it's just
More time, and if it was
me
closer.
finding, more time and if it was closer.
Brandon, same question to you.
I
Since you
would
haven't been there
go-
and the only reason you said you went last time was because you were kind of dragged there too, right?
Right. So it is out of the way, but I mean, the deal I got today wouldn't be enough for me to go back if I knew I could get the same deal again. Because I got 16 Reese's eggs. for the
Easter
price
eggs.
Of what they normally would cost is like $1 during Easter season, but I got the 16 for $3, 3 for $1. So pretty good deal. So yeah, catch me there after Halloween when they've got the pumpkin ones.
No.
I don't
After
think I'd go.
Christmas with the Christmas
Oh.
tree ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely gonna go back for some more Reese's related holiday items. And I think if I was in the area, I'd stop in, get some treats. If there's a large quantity of something I want, and there's a chance they'll have it, then I'm gonna stop in.
Something
Okay.
that we usually go for, like if we have to bring a potluck type item, they have really good like salads, like pasta salad, potato salad. So they usually have those, and we'll go and get those to bring as a potluck type item.
Because they'll get like the restaurants, like the same containers that they like what do you want to call it? Food distributors send to restaurants. So if they have a surplus, that's another place they send them. So you can get a huge, like literally like 5-gallon tub of potato salad for like less than $5. So, but the price you'd pay at Smith's or something like that. So, how about
just
you?
have
Beck?
to be going somewhere that you would need to use all of that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to a big party, right?
Or you just really want pasta salad.
And we've done that with Becky's family a few times where they're like, oh, we made this big thing of potato salad, 5 gallons, boom. You could just put it in your little decorative bowl and they think you made it.
You've ruined our secret.
We
Now
ruined our
everyone
secret,
will
yeah.
know.
I'm sure they all listen to this.
We know what to
podcast.
expect when we bring you to a potluck at our house.
That's right. Well, same question to you, Becky. Like, when would you go to NPS without me dragging you there? Or what would make you want to go there?
Just if I had a need of something that I knew would be there, really. Like I know that they have good birthday stuff. So if like we're doing a birthday party for our kids and needed like a candle, I'd go there. But usually you've already done it, so there's no need for me to go. So I guess what would make me go there more often is if we suddenly moved to be closer to NPS.
You didn't move close. You didn't move just because of any other reason except to be closer to NPS.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is true.
I could see Nate
Might
doing that.
happen.
Of course,
It might happen.
of course, it would have to be coupled with a good deal on a house,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
like a crazy good deal on the house. So you had to buy it, and just hey, happens to be right by NPS. So there you go, 2 deals in one.
Or if like NPS would build a wing for our family on the side of the building somewhere in the back, and we could be like the nighttime security.
I think maybe they just need to put an NPS near us. My money's on over by in that old Kmart. There's plenty of space right there.
Well, that's what they did in Orem. The Kmart in Orem became NPS Orem. Yeah, go NPS store.
Woo.
Well, thanks to our sweet wives for putting up with us in this undertaking we've dragged them into, by going to NPS with us and allowing us to do this podcast for all our loyal listeners as well. Thank you, ladies.
Now that we've had our conversation with our wives,
we've heard their take on it. Why don't we hear the take of some other people?
Yeah, so like usual, we like to look at the Google, right, and see where Google stands as far as the place we're reviewing. And right now, NPS Store stands at a 4.1 on the Google reviews.
Not bad.
Yeah. Did you say you had a good review you wanted to read?
So this one is from the Google user Sia. They said, "Don't bother shopping here. Some people go here every day and spend all day here and snatch up any good deal there may have been. Then they list it on KSL for more money. Save your time and go somewhere else or KSL." I think they were talking about people like you, Nate.
That go and snatch up all the good deals?
Yeah. No, just kidding.
But I do remember it's been years, and a lot of the reviews, what I was going through reviews, a lot of people were talking about, and I've kind of mentioned it before, that the pricing has gone up a little bit. It's not as a crazy deal as you were getting 10, 20 years ago. But I do remember as little as probably even 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would go to the NPS store and people would have just like 2 grocery cart full of stuff because they were just throwing everything into their cart. And a lot of them were eBay sellers selling stuff on eBay. But I don't think the prices are good enough now for them to make a good profit on eBay. So
right.
It's just not happening as much anymore. But I did notice in the reviews that a lot of people were kind of complaining or mentioning that the pricing has gone up. So
right. Not as good as it once was.
Right. One guy named John says the store 20 years ago was the best kept secret in town. The prices have tripled since then. You can still find a good deal if it's something needed, but the days of finding the part or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow are long gone. Kind of like the DI charging $12 for a pair of used pants. Do you pay or buy the new ones? I think what he's trying to say, for a few bucks more. Mm-hmm. It's still a fun place to get lost in for a few hours. So, which is kind of funny. I kind of had the exact same opinion on both stores, the NPS store and DI. I feel like the DI prices have gone a little crazy over the last 10 years. So you have to be careful when you're going to the NPS store and the DI for that matter.
Well, let's do one more negative review. This one's kind of funny. It's hard to convey, but I just love how this review is in all caps. There's a lot of spelling errors and there's no punctuation. So just please imagine that as I read this. K-Wright says, "The NPS store is a privacy invading entity that illegally videos their customers in their public restrooms in a pretense to curb shoplifting and then makes petty theft out to be a capital crime."
So they're admitting to
yeah, I mean, he admitted here that he did commit theft. So,
and he's upset that they were upset.
How dare they?
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, you're getting a steal of a deal there anyway. Why do you even need to steal in the first place?
So, and a lot of reviews, like this one says, "This place is an absolute mess, junk everywhere. I can't even believe it's a thing. Mind blown." But you see that a lot in their comments, and that's really kind of what the place is. It's a treasure hunt. I'll admit it's a lot more organized now than it has been in years past. But it's what you would think a discount store would be.
You have to search for the treasure. You have to find those little gems that are hidden throughout. Like it's going to be me finding my Reese's. Those were kind of out in the open, easy to find. But I mean, there's my Disney World almanac that I got for $1.
Yeah, did you go to the store thinking you're going to buy a Disney almanac?
Absolutely not. Or my cookie dough bites. Or, I mean, we could have bought that cover for our mics for our podcasting, but we didn't because we didn't do it. But you can find those things.
Yeah, I mean, there's I think I mentioned to you and your wife at the store that if my wife needs something, we're running low on a product, especially in the grocery section, I'll ask her, do you need it now? Or do you know, how soon do you need it? Because you might have it at Market Square. And if you find it at Market Square, odds are it's going to be a lot less than what you'd pay at the retail store for. And I'm talking like spices and kind of the stockpile stuff you put in your pantry.
And to that point, I wish we would have gone yesterday rather than today because we needed some paprika and could have got it a lot cheaper at NPS. And it would have been the same thing, same brand, everything, but way cheaper.
Yeah, for like a fraction of what you paid at the store, right?
And more quantity, even those big bags they have the spices too.
Yeah, which is fun. You know, a fun find I found, I think I told you guys at the store, but for our listeners, is the nacho cheese that you put into the 7-Eleven nacho cheese dispenser. They had bags of those once at Market Square for like $5 a bag, which is a lot of nacho cheese. And you had to kind of like, I mean, because obviously it's not convenient for a consumer, so you have to like kind of jimmy rig it to get the cheese out. But
you and your kids enjoyed it for a while.
Yeah, we had fun with that. So there's always some fun surprises like that you can find every once in a while when you're going in there. You just never know what you're going to find. And speaking of treasure hunting, there's actually a Facebook group page called NPS Treasure Hunters for the people that get what the NPS store really is. And that's a good Facebook page to like if you're into the treasure hunting stuff and you like the Market Square or the NPS store, because there'll be people that go to the store and can kind of tell you, hey, this is what's going on today in the store, the deal I found. So let you know if it's worth going in or not. The store also has, I don't think we talked about it, but they have 2 locations. One being the one we visited today on, what's the address?
Empire Road?
Yeah, 1600 Empire Road, which is just right off of Redwood Road and basically 1700 South. And then not too long ago, I want to say a little over a year, possibly even 2 years ago, they took over the Kmart in Orem on 475 North State Street in Orem. So the one in Orem, I visited that one too. It's a little different than the one you get in Salt Lake, but still a lot of the same deals that you find in the Salt Lake store. And their sales are completely different. So Orem will be having their own kind of like discount spot sales compared to the one in Salt Lake. So we'll have to do another episode another day and visit the Orem location and see what's going on there. And besides the Salt Lake store, when you go to the Salt Lake City location, they have basically 2 buildings. They have the one that we visited today that has the clothes, electronics, the grocery side, kind of like your Walmart, right? And then across the street is another building that they call the industrial side, where they have parts for your car, Home Depot type stuff, home improvement stuff, furniture, exercise machines, tools, and stuff of that nature, which we'll have to do another episode just for that side of the store.
So if you thought you were going to come in here and get just one NPS or Market Square episode, not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Not soon, right? But
Not
eventually
soon.
We'll do another visit to the other side where my wife and I had originally parked because we didn't know where to
go. Yeah, it's kind of it's an industrial area, right? So it's not like your typical shopping center. So it can be a little confusing if you're going there for the first time to know where you need to go. But one thing I did learn today by going to the NPS store is that they've started Student Day on Tuesday. So if you're a student with your ID, you get an extra 10% off your purchase. And to our awesome seniors out there, on Wednesdays, they do Senior Day for for the 65 and older crowd to get also 10% off your purchase. So if any of you guys are students and or seniors, let me know so we can go together and you can get a discount on top of all the already great savings we're already receiving, right?
Right.
Shopping NPS store. And I also noticed on their website today that they have an NPS rewards program coming soon. So that's got me intrigued to find out how that's going to work. So,
well, overall, we really liked our visit to the NPS store. A lot of fun. So we would recommend you guys give it a shot if you haven't before.
I was going to say, give it a shot. And if you're going there for the very first time, gosh, how much time would you say you need to explore that place?
At least an hour.
At least an hour. At least an hour for the side that we visited, and then another hour for the industrial side if you're going to the Salt Lake store. It's just, there's a lot of stuff. So yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you think of the NPS store. Tell us your thoughts on the place and what other similar stores you'd like us to visit in the future. Make sure you follow us on social media and engage and tell us what you want us to see, what you want to see us do.
Yeah. And if you do like the NPS store and go there often, if you're part of the Treasure Hunters Facebook page, let us know what's the best deal you found when you've been treasure hunting at NPS store. Are you as big a fan of the NPS store as I am?
No, but it was still fun to go and visit.
I guess I'm a rare breed. I'll continue to go to my NPS store all by myself.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode. We'll see you next time.
See ya.